During our recent trip to Florence, we booked a day tour through the Tuscan countryside. We'll be hopping between two gorgeous medieval towns, Siena, famous for its stunning piazza, and San Gimignano, the town of towers. We also stopped for lunch at a family owned winery in Chianti. So put on your comfy shoes and let's go. We begin our journey at our pickup point in Forteza. From there, it's about a 1 hour drive to our first stop, the captivating city of Siena. Siena is a great example of a Tuscan hill town. Although similar to many other towns in the surrounding area, Siena's architecture stands out thanks to the many sites within the historic center. The vast majority of the buildings are from the 12th to 17th centuries, and today, Siena has one of the best preserved historic centers in all of Europe and has been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We were dropped off at the Basilica of San Domenico. From there, we walked to Piazza Salimbeni. The Piazza Salimbeni is a prominent square in central Siena, surrounded by three prominent palaces: Palazzo Tantucci, Rocca or Palazzo Salimbeni, and Palazzo Spanocchi. The palace facades were harmonized to a neo-Gothic style during the 19th century. In the center of the square is the statue of Salustio Bandini, a Sienese priest and one of the first Italian economists. It is also notable for still housing the offices of one of the first banking houses in Europe, the Banca Monte dei Paschi de Siena, established in 1472. Next stop was the Siena Cathedral, the city's crown jewel. This magnificent structure is a prime example of Gothic architecture, boasting a stunning facade adorned with black and white striped marble. The cathedral was designed and completed between 1215 and 1263 on the site of an earlier structure. The church is dedicated to the Assumption of Mary. There remains an unfinished section of the cathedral as well. This ambitious project, intended to nearly double the size of the Duomo, was tragically halted by the Black Death of the 14th century. The skeletal remains of the expansion stand as a testament to Siena's grand vision and the unforeseen twists of fate. Although the upper class owned luxurious palaces, the greatest architecture in Siena were built for the general public. The best example of this is Piazza del Campo, surrounded by historic buildings whose designs, even though simple, are incredibly harmonious. The piazza exemplifies successful public space design, which has inspired master planners all over the world. The signature reddish-brown brick, which is the unifying element in Siena's architecture, is even immortalized in the Crayola shade called Burnt Sienna. At its center is a wide open space with a gentle slope and a herringbone patterned brickwork, divided into 9 sections, symbolizing the shared power of the governing council. The 9 sections converge into a central point, the Palazzo Pubblico, or Town Hall. We stopped for lunch at Cantina Fontaleoni. Founded in 1959, Cantina Fontaleoni is a family-run winery in San Gimignano. It shifted focus in the 1980s to become a respected producer. They are particularly known for their Vernaccia di San Gimignano white wines and Chianti Colli Senesi red wines. Spanning 50 hectares with vineyards in Santa Maria and Le Fonti, they also offer Rosato, cuvee blends, olive oil, and grappa. After a short tour of the premises, we were treated to an array of local Tuscan delicacies, paired with their wines. For starters, we had a charcuterie board of local delicacies along with 3 of their wines: a cuvee, a rosato, and the famous vernaccia of San Gimignano. The tempura of sage leaf was a first for us. We will be replicating this back home. The main was a simple pasta il pomodoro, which paired perfectly with their Chianti Colli Senesi wine. The acidity of the tomatoes tames the acidity of the wine. The food was simple and delicious, specifically chosen to showcase their exceptional wines. Our next stop is San Gimignano, a captivating medieval town perched on a Tuscan hilltop. This place is famous for its iconic skyline dominated by towers. These towers were built by wealthy families competing for prestige, making San Gimignano a true town of towers. At its peak, the skyline had 72 towers. Today, only 14 remain. We were dropped off at Porta San Matteo, and we made our way through the town to our pickup point at Porta San Giovanni. The town served as an important relay point for pilgrims traveling to or from Rome. Following the fragmentation of the Italian peninsula during the Middle Ages, the town became an independent republic, dominated by 2 powerful noble families. The 14th century would see the eventual decline of San Gimignano, brought about by plagues ravaging the local population. The town would eventually find itself under the influence of Florence. San Gimignano is one of the best preserved medieval towns in Italy, with many beautiful Gothic and Romanesque buildings surviving in prime condition. The entire historic center is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Besides the famous towers, there is also Palazzo Comunale, which houses the Civic Museum and the picture gallery of the town. Another standout is the Romanesque Collegiata di Santa Maria Assunta, a minor basilica. Piazza della Cisterna owes its name to a well built in the middle of the square in the 13th century. It served as a market square as well as a venue for public festivals and tournaments. This is also the location of the gelato world champion, Gelateria Dondoli. It is known all over the world and visited by a large number of celebrities, and is mentioned in the most important world guides. They set themselves apart by the original and unusual flavors such as crema di Santa Fina, cream with saffron and pine nuts, champelmo, pink grapefruit and sparkling wine, dolce amaro, cream with aromatic herbs. Original indeed. It was the perfect sweet ending for our amazing day. As we headed back to Florence, we couldn't stop thinking about what it would have been like to live in these cities during their golden ages. This has been an unforgettable trip, and made even more special by the lovely company we shared. Shout out to the tour guy who provided this excellent tour and our wonderful tour guides. We hope you enjoyed our vlog. We will see you in the next episode.